Alright, I'm gonna start this by being completely fair. Magical Girl Friendship Squad Origins is not the worst thing I've ever seen on my television. There are definitely worse things, like, well, shit. Sci-Fi Channel, in the best decision they made since they decided to stop being Sci-Fi Channel, has graced us all with Magical Girl Friendship Squad Origins. And let me tell ya, it is an autistic nitpicker's nightmare. Or dream. You know, nightmares are technically dreams. The very first scene sums up my general displeasure for this show. I Heart New York fat guy walks into frame, pulls his fucking wallet out, and wiggles his fingers excitedly like he's gonna buy something. Then this guy comes along and takes his wallet. Which leaves me to wonder, why in the hell did he do this? Why did he pull his wallet out and act like he was about to buy something he was excited for? It makes no sense. They very easily could have just had this guy pull his wallet out of his pocket when he got mugged, but instead he had to present his wallet for just no reason at all. There's no reason this happened. This is the first thing this show decided to show me, and it's infuriating. Who did this? Who made this decision? The show follows two main characters, Alex and Daisy. They're New York millennial hipsters who just lost their jobs. And can I ask what is going on with these walk cycles? These characters don't even look like they belong on this backdrop. I don't understand the perspective here.
Just something simple that doesn't have an awful commute, something that's...
The fuck is this? Why is she doing that? This trope irritates the shit out of me. If you're curious as to whether or not you're out of drink, you don't fucking flip it upside down and shake it. It's not a bottle of ketchup, it's a drink. The reason you don't do this is because if there is some drink left, and you flip that shit upside down, whatever's left of your drink now belongs to the pavement.
The Creator has taken form in this world.
I wish my passion for spying on strangers from behind trash cans could pay the bills. Oh well, back to being a corporate attorney, I guess.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get this fucking joke. Do you get the joke?
I don't really want to be in this video.
They do this whole bit where they're referencing John Wick 2, and that's the joke. The whole joke is that they're reciting lines from John Wick 2. The show's humor can't stand on its own two tree trunks, so I guess they're gonna try referential humor. It comes into play later, but they barely gloss over it. It's really just there because John Wick is new, it's relevant, that gotta make a reference that the millennials will get. It's a wholesome Keanu. I like Keanu Reeves. I get that meme. The show gets me. They meet the Cube reference in their designated reference room. They have to jam their fingers in its ass to get the exposition because comedy.
They seek to destroy this universe by using its own power against it.
Hold on, the internet's out. Oh, are you on the Alex and Daisy Please Stop Stealing Our Wi-Fi or We'll Lock It network?
You'll never believe this. They locked it.
Ahem.
What purpose did this scene serve? Why did it happen? And why is she all the way across the room? I thought their fingers had to be in the asshole for the exposition visions to work. Exposition vision. Exposition vision. And why do they give so little of a shit?
So I suppose you don't want to hear about the special powers I can grant you.
Powers? Fuck yeah!
Oh, what kind of powers? Can we wish for $1 million?
I hate this. On a scale from 1 to triggered, you can call me officially triggered. I don't give a shit anymore. The reason zombie movies work is because, in universe, it's assumed that the people dealing with the zombie apocalypse don't have a frame of reference for what zombies are. It's usually safe to assume there's not a wide lexicon of zombie literature to already pull things from. It's a brand new idea to them. They're just seeing all of this for the first time. You do have to suspend your disbelief a little bit, because most zombie flicks take place in what you'd consider to be our world. And why do I bring this up? Because you're telling me these two millennial hipster weeaboos with fucking Cowboy Bebop and I guess some Think Geek crossover poster on their walls have never heard of a magical girl anime? I mean, I guess it's possible, but I have a hard time suspending my disbelief about that. The only other alternative is that our protagonists are genuinely unbelievably stupid.
Now, each of you must choose the object that will activate your powers. You must carry this object with you at all times.
Fine. I'll pick my birth control. It'll remind me to take it.
God, this shit is exhausting. I'd actually really like to meet the person that considers this a laugh riot. Just pick their brain a little bit. Ask questions. Find out if they're even a real human being. It's really irritating that the main protagonists don't take this seriously in the slightest, and that the show doesn't seem to want to take a break from barraging me with jokes that just aren't landing.
If you don't fulfill that destiny, then your universe and everything in it, everyone you have ever loved, will die.
That it? Did you think that was news? That shit's like definitely happening anyway.
Does she not know about climate change?
You know what I just realized? This shit has the exact same problem Ghostbusters had. Yeah, you know which one. And don't bore me with any of your namby-pamby political nonsense. I have neither the time nor the patience for it. I'm referring to the fact that these aren't characters, they're walking joke machines.
There is no experimental backing for anything in that book, and it makes me look like a crazy person.
God, are you kidding me? What? I got one wonton. I got a tub of soup, and I got one split wonton. Look at that, just floating there.
They don't have personalities, they have gags, they have one-liners, and they have jokes. But Honklich, didn't you complain that the characters didn't care about what was going on? Isn't that part of their personality? It could be, but when the characters don't give a shit about what's going on because they can't stop making jokes long enough to leave room for there to be shit to give, that's not a personality, that's shitty writing.
Once I finish collecting their energy in this crystal, my boss will be one step further along in his sinister plan.
Why is she telling us this?
I don't know. Seems really unnecessary.
Really, the only people I can think of that would even get a lot of these jokes are people that have consumed the source material. And as somebody that's consumed the source material, I can honestly say I've seen all of these references, all of these, I don't know, parodies a million times over. There are lots of mainstream cartoons that make fun of things like Dragon Ball Z and Sailor Moon. They're not exactly breaking new ground. It's about as low-hanging fruit as, Mario, he do the drugs. Uh-oh, he's eating a mushroom. Here's our magical girl transformation sequence that they couldn't even be bothered to do well. I'm going to assume this specific sequence appears in literally every episode. So, knowing that, why not give a little bit more of a shit when animating it? Is it supposed to look shitty on purpose? Is that the gimmick? As much as this show looks like My Life Me, I actually can't decide which one of them is more poorly animated. I get very heavy My Life Me vibes from the show, in the sense that whenever they try to reference something anime, it comes off as looking like something that leapt from the pages of a how-to-draw manga book. They transform into their magical girl personas and get sexy Kill la Kill references, which, of course, they hate. Then ensues a faux anime fight scene, which is just as rough as the rest of it. I feel like it comes off as disingenuous, because the show didn't give a shit about anything that came before this, so why is this suddenly a thing that anyone should care about?
Hi, would you watch my laptop for a second?
Oh yeah, I got you.
This whole fucking show is a non-stop experience in why is this happening? And why did they say this moments. I feel like I'm watching a bad Newgrounds cartoon from the early 2000s. You know, the kind that gets buried under everything else because it's so goddamn shit. Except this time, it's on television and a network had to greenlight it. By the end of the episode, the issue of them not having jobs or being able to pay rent isn't resolved. Meaning as the show goes on, they're still gonna have to dedicate time to them job hunting, which I'm sure will contribute to the rushed, aimless feeling the show gives off as it attempts to tell some kind of story in its measly 11-minute runtime. I don't know, maybe these characters would be slightly more relatable if they were just a little bit more stressed out about their situation. I mean, if I lived in one of the most expensive cities in the world and I suddenly lost my job, I'd probably be shitting bricks. But, you know, No time for that. We gotta tell a fucking, what, the John Wick reference? What we gotta stick fingers in buttholes? By the end of the show, I don't know anything about these characters, except for they like coffee, like movies, and their choice of sexual partners. At the beginning of this rant, I said that the show was a nitpicker's nightmare. But really, can they be called nitpicks if it's constant throughout the entire episode? You can't complain about Johnny Test's whip cracks being a nitpick because they permeate the show's whole fucking existence. Ugly animation, two-dimensional characters, dependent on referential humor in even episode 1. And you know what makes it worse? It doesn't even have anything to add. I'm not even sure if I would call this show a parody of magical girl animes. It references tropes from magical girl anime, but other than that, it doesn't really do much with it. I've been thinking about this all day, and I can't help but feel like there's more than enough shallow, insincere, nihilistic shows on television. This show, the Magical Girl Friendship Squad, didn't need to be made. There's absolutely nothing that I can find, not one thing, that redeems this show's existence. It's not even the kind of bad that can be enjoyed ironically. There's nothing there. I just cannot fathom a single good reason for this to have been made. Maybe it was completely cynical. Maybe it's all manufactured. You make references that millennials will get, reference memes millennials know. What really starts to get me down, though, is the thought that the people who made this actually think and behave like these characters. I'd be willing to bet they're all patting themselves on the back right now, thinking they made a genuinely good show. That is assuming it was made for a reason other than making money. And it's obvious that the creators believe that subverting expectations is somehow an acceptable substitute for giving 2 iotas of a shit about what they've created. I guess I should end this on a joke. Pompurin's asshole. Blue Eyes White Dragon?
I know what that is!